Here's the microscopes that you will be using in today's lab. So it's a wolf microscope. Right here is the on switch that will turn on the light of the microscope. You can adjust the brightness of the light. If you go to the opposite side of the switch, there's a little dial right here which will determine how much light goes through the actual light bulb up here. Depending on your eyes, it differs from student to student. Right here we have the stage of the microscope in which your slide will go on. So here's a microscope slide. Notice it is a rectangle shape with a 90-degree angle on each side. If you notice on the stage of the microscope, there is a 90-degree angle on the slide itself with a little clamp here to hold the microscope slide into place. So if you place it just like this and use the clip to hold it in place, that's how you get the slide on. I've seen kids put this on in very interesting ways, but this is the correct way to get the microscope slide onto the microscope stage. Next, as you notice, is the actual light part that we can use with the objectives is not on the microscope itself. If you look under the stage, I think it's over here, you have two little knobby things. I don't know what the official name is, but if you notice, one, if you switch the knob, it goes up and down, and the other one down below switches it from left to right, which determines, just gotta put it where you see it. Next, you have the different objectives. So whenever you come to a lab, you are starting on the lowest objective, which is 4x. The next highest objective, which is yellow, it's hard to see, but it's the 10x. And then the highest that we go, not the highest, we got the 40x right here. And then of course, the highest one is 100x. We won't be using this one in today's lab because as you can see, it's only for oil immersions, and that's not happening today. So again, the highest one you'll get to is 40x. The rule of thumb is that you start at the lowest objective. You get this, I guess, what do you call it? You get this in focus. Once it's focused at 4x, you then turn it to the 10x, get that focus, and then you get it to the 40x, which is blue, and you get that in focus. So let's talk about the not the objectives, but the focus knobs that you have in order to focus your objectives so that you can see what's actually on the microscope slide. We have the big bulb or big knob. This is the basic focus. If you notice, it turns the base or the stage up and down, and the little knob right beside it, that is the fine focus. If you notice, it does not move the slide. So the rule of thumb is you get the basic focus as focused as you can, and then you do the little fine tune-ups using the fine focus down here. So you go to your lowest objective, which is the 4x, and you do your thing, you do your basic, and you're fine. You move it to the 40x, or the 10x, sorry. You do the basic, you do the fine to where your eyes are. And then my biggest thing is when you get to the 40x, the one that's really close to the stage in the microscope, you do not use the basic focus to focus the slide. You only use the fine focus. Because if you were to use the basic focus, you'll move the slide up and down, and you have the possibility of cracking the slide, and we don't want that to happen. Another thing to notice is that, I don't know if you can see, underneath each objective is a particular lens. Do not take your fingers, which has oils on them, and touch the bottom of the objectives. That causes bad things to happen with the microscopes. We don't want that to happen. Also, don't put your fingers on the eye part of the microscope. If you do feel like there's smudges on them, we have chem wipes. This will be available for you guys. If you feel like it is smudgy, you take a chem wipe, you wipe the bottom of the objective and the eyepiece. To wrap up your microscope lab, all you gotta do is turn off your microscope. You need to take out your, don't do that. Take out your microscope slide and put it to wherever I'll tell you to put it. And then you always put your microscope at the lowest objective, which is 4, and then you go back to the room.